Hey folks, welcome back to Kurtzky's Garage. It's another episode. It's always fun doing content for 2 episodes at the same time, and I have to remember what I'm shooting. Today, we're going to start doing some work on the Porsche 911. And in order to get that going, the car needs a little bit of air in its tires, and I decided to splurge for another Milwaukee tool, the M18 inflator. So we're going to do an unboxing of that in real time. It is still sealed. I think you've probably seen these on other channel reviews, so it's not going to be too earth-shattering. We'll get the tool in a bag, and that will, that's pretty much it. Typical Milwaukee packaging, which is good. There's no problem. You got instruction book. Okay, we've got an instruction book, the catalog enticing you to spend even more money that you likely don't already have, and we've got the tool. So that is super cool. Now, what are we? Okay, True Fill technology. Yeah, the tool has a fan that actually keeps the compressor cold or cool, within operating temperature. And that helps to ensure that you get proper inflation pressure on your tire. Now, I've seen these guys use this inflator on, massive truck tires. I think the claim is it will go up to 150 PSI. Well, we're not going to do that in a vintage Porsche. Pretty much we're just going to go to, we're going to go to 30 PSI to test it out. That's that. And we'll see how long it takes, how easy it is, and obviously we're going to see how quiet it is. So hang tight while I grab a battery, and let's get started. Okay, so here we are at the passenger side rear tire of the 911. Don't complain in the comments about how dirty she is. I know she is dirty. I have not driven it in 2 years. So this is why we're rejuvenating it. So first we're just going to throw a battery in. There we go. That's a 4 amp hour. That's what I've got handy. We're going to turn it on. Okay, listed to PSI. We're going to go for 30. So I've set that up, and you can see the gauge is showing, well, maybe you can't see it. Now you can, I hope. The gauge is showing, it's at 17.5. I can't read it upside down. So we've got 12.5 PSI to put in it. We hit the magic button, and here we go. And that's it. So that went from 17. Okay, is that it now? I think that's it. So that was that True Fill technology kicking in. The compressor cooled down. It took a measurement of what the actual tire pressure was, and it had to put a little in. But there we go, from 17.5 PSI to 30 PSI, quick and easy. And I know some other YouTubers have talked about adding a quick disconnect. Yeah, I think that's something that I will do. It's not the most urgent, but I'm pretty happy just to have a portable compressor. And I have a compressor that is going to go in the trunk of my car for emergency. This I'm going to have at home, and my proper large air compressor will, use for other stuff. But how do you beat this? I don't think you do. So that's all I've got for this segment of getting the 911 going. Hey, welcome back to Kurtzky's Garage, and we're actually in the garage today. We're back to working on the Porsche 911. We had to put in, or I am going to put in, a brand new battery. I think the last one was about 8 years old, and it would not take a charge. You know, they don't make them like they used to. So I went to my favorite battery vendor and we got a new, well, it's the Euro spec battery. Wasn't too expensive, a couple $100 Canadian, that did it. And of course, you know, when you're going to put one in, you got to take the little protective top hats off. So there we go. Or we'll put them there for the moment. It's not an easy fit getting this battery in here. It's a tight compartment. You don't have a lot of room. You just don't have a lot of room. So without further ado, you're going to hear a middle-aged guy grunt a little bit as he picks up a battery that is way bigger than it should be for this kind of car. But here we go.
A few moments later.
What is in there? Oh, there we go. That's the jack. There. I guess that's it. I'm pretty sure that is nothing more. Well, I don't exactly know what it is, but I think I just broke it, whatever it is. We're going to put on our positive terminal. So I got a couple of different sizes of wrench. And here we go. Probably seeing my unkempt hair. Sorry about that. Get that. So they're snug down, finger tight. And we've got a 13mm ratcheting wrench.
A few moments later.
And then on mine, I've got a smaller wrench. I have a battery disconnect, you can see. So we put this on, and the idea being, I can't.
A few moments later.
And I'm not sure if you can see it in this shot. I'm going to just spin the camera over. Right over there, that's the light, and that's my indication that the battery is connected. If I disconnect that battery terminal, the negative, that will go out. Come on. And that is just very simply my indication that, oh, why is it still on? Why is it still on? Did I wire this thing up incorrectly? I'm going to go back and check that. And you know what? We're going to try firing this thing up. Stay with me. Okay, guys, you're going to get a little bit of a sneak peek at the other car in the garage at Kurtzky's garage. This is my 1974 Pontiac Trans Am, and we're going to have the same issue with this car potentially with respect to the battery. So I'm going to throw a charger on it. Again, I haven't run this car in, well, far too long. Let's just put it that way. So I've got lots of light on it. We're going to see what happens. I'm not going to attempt starting it today, but we're going to throw a charger on it. Let's leave it at that. And then we're going to go back to the 911. Okay, guys, moment of truth. And you know the deal with Porsches, keys on the left. We're doing this in real time. Set the parking brake, clutch down, neutral. Oh, here we go. No. That's okay. We'll get some oil through it. How about that? How about that, guys? German engineering. 2 starts. This car has not run in at least 2 years, maybe 3. I can't even remember. 3, I think. We're gonna let it idle. We're not gonna run it too long, but I just want you to hear this. That, my friends, is a beautiful thing. Air-cooled flat 6 German engineering. Oh, wonderful. I am so happy. One little job I have for this is replacing the strut. As you can see, we call it the hood or the trunk, the engine cover. We'll call it the engine cover. It keeps dropping. So I've got a strut from Ren Line. We're gonna put that in. Same deal, it's holding up the frunk hood, trunk, lid, frunk thing, frunk cover. And we'll just do away with these pressurized gas struts that fail, and it's a much simpler system. So we're gonna get that installed. We'll show you that, nice little thing. I can't tell you how relieved I am to hear this car start. I do love this car. It's time to enjoy it again. We'll be seeing you on the road into Porsche soon enough. And welcome back to the garage. So it's been a couple of days since we got the 88 911 started, and I'm so thrilled that happened without any incident. I think I've got a little oil to burn off the exhaust system, but hey, she's been sitting for a while, so no big surprise. At the end of that segment, I talked about installing the Ren Line mechanical engine cover support, and we're going to do that today. So this is the item, and hopefully you can see the label there on camera. I purchased this through Pelican Parts many years ago, and actually many years ago I changed the gas struts out on the frunk cover to these mechanical struts, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration of how that works. So very simply, we get the hood latch open, and at this point you're raising the hood. There is no gas support. It is not assisted either on the way up or the way down, so please don't drop the frunk cover. When you get it to the top of its travel, carefully release it and the supports will catch. So there's no way that this is going to come crashing down on your noggin or your arms or whatever, well, whatever you got in there. And simply to close it, push it up again, and there we go. Again, you are the support, you're the gas assist when you're opening and closing it. So just be very careful when it comes to not allowing it to slam. So we're going to set up to do this little repair. It shouldn't be more than a couple of minutes. So come along and we'll get it done. Okay, so we're back at the rear of the 911, and fortunately, a couple of things. I'm repurposing the handle from my low profile trolley jack to support the engine cover right now, and I'm able to use my magnetic Milwaukee underhood light. I wasn't sure if this panel was actually, if it was aluminum or steel. I knew it wasn't fiberglass, but it's steel, so there we go. So we'll just start with taking the first clip off. Very simple. Off it comes, and this is the kind of clip we're talking about here. So very simple. We'll set that aside. We got that one off. Now, what do we got here? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? Oh, they're on rods or some sort of thing, little shafts. Okay, I'm back. And we've got a small pry bar and pliers. It didn't really have a small hammer, but That's doing the trick right there. That's fine. Now, got to be very careful here because I do not want to have this hood come flying down, engine cover come flying down on me, and it might. Okay, back again. That was the little hammer I was looking for, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole heck of a lot this time. There we go. So just make sure this thing doesn't come crashing down. Okay. Okay. Now we'll get that second shaft out and get the damaged, inoperative gas strut out of there. Oh, that doesn't have any pressure on it whatsoever.
A few moments later.
Now, this thing still feels like it's got plenty of resistance to it, but it's not enough. So let's forget about that. And we're going to replace it with this super cool part. And I think for me personally, I actually want to see, there, you can see how it works. I want to see the carbon end of it up close. The needle nose. There we go, we're in. That's it. Nice and simple. And then we take these spring clips, or whatever they're called, halfway there. Oh, okay, halfway there. And there we go. And folks, that may be the quickest repair I've done on a German car. That was literally just a few minutes. Okay, well, I did a little test and it does work, but I'll demonstrate it for you. Up, up, up. Remember, you are the gas strut at this point. And there we go. That is not going to come crashing down on you at all. It's 100% safe and secure. And when you're ready to close it, up a little bit. Oh, there you go. And there you go. If you have a cabriolet, the roof is going to, or the cover is going to take a little bit of extra pressure to get past the ridge of material that is the convertible top right at the trailing edge. But don't worry about it. Nothing can be damaged. It just needs a little bit more of a push. And there you have it. Quick, easy, and a real high value repair and improvement to your air-cooled 911. So in this segment of Kurtzky's Garage, I wanted to address wheel and tire cleaning. I've got to do that to the 911 to get it ready for its big movie debut, well, small screen internet debut at least, with Gary the Car Nut. We're going to film in a couple of weeks' time, and I have so much work to do, like full paint correction, the whole works. But before I do that, we're getting away to Montreal this weekend with a little stop in Kingston to visit a couple of suppliers of mine, and then en route to Montreal for a wedding. Not mine, by the way, friend. So, in preparation for that, the car isn't too bad, but the wheels and tires are filthy. And there's something about European brake components. They just they throw off a lot of brake dust, and that brake dust is highly corrosive. And you know, I'm filming this after doing one wheel and tire cleaning, and yeah, it's already getting into the paint on the rim. So I'm going to have to do some more detailing correction to really get that corrosion out of there. But for a quick and dirty, I think it's fantastic. You know, I'm happy with the outcome. So I bought more product from Pro Detailing Supplies. They're in Toronto on Britannia Road, just east of the main airport, Pearson International. Great staff, super knowledgeable, and there's, you know, just everything you could possibly want to clean and detail your car or boat or plane, whatever you got, whatever toys. So I picked up a 2-gallon Griot's Garage collapsible silicone bucket, perfect for doing tires or other small jobs around the house. A handheld manual pumping foam dispenser. I have the Griot's Garage Boss Foam Cannon, but that means I have to get hoses and pressure washer and all that stuff out. I don't want the bother every time. I want to just clean something quickly. So the manual setup is really cool. We're going to follow that up with Griot's Garage wheel cleaner, which I've been using for years, and it's a wonderful product. Undercarriage spray for the inner fender liner, and their ceramic tire dressing to cap things off. So come on with me and we'll get this job done. Okay, let's get started on this process. First thing we're going to do is get our foam sprayer pressurized and hit this thing. Probably don't have enough foam yet, but this is the first time that I've used this. Yep, it's a learning process. But you know what? This is going to be just fine for the first get-go. And we're also going to use the Griot's Garage wheel cleaner. Open up the sprayer here. Get it more to a mist. There we go. Okay, good stuff. Give the tires a little bit of a clean up. Look at the caked on garbage there. That is terrible. Yeah, this is going to take a while to do, but it's going to be so satisfying. Look at that. Look at that. Now, we're going to go in here and let's get all of the spokes. Look at that. But next we're going to go in with the mitt and just work our way around these spokes, trying to get as much of the corrosive brake dust off as possible. That's going to take a little bit more. Just wanted to show you really quick. This just took a couple minutes. So we had the cleaner, the car wash cleaner through the manual foam dispenser, the wheel cleaner from Griot's Garage, this guy. Once everything was cleaned up, I applied the ceramic tire dressing, and then finally the undercarriage spray in the inner fender liner, just to get things looking real nice. So not bad. And 3 to go, but you can see how dirty they are. So I think this will be a great little detailing job on the 911, because it's going to have its screen debut in a couple of weeks' time, or filmed for its screen debut in a couple of weeks' time. And there's a lot to do to that car. Full paint correction, cleaning of the tires and rims, and interior cleaning. And that's assuming everything else mechanically is going to cooperate. And why would it not? It's a 37-year-old, 38-year-old? Yeah, 38-year-old German car. What could go wrong? Okay, one last shot of clean rims on a not so clean car. And I'll rectify that shortly. Probably go for a car wash tomorrow before we leave. So just a couple of minutes per rim, nothing fancy. Got the brake dust off, and hopefully we'll prevent further corrosion on those painted cast rims. They do look good when they're clean, but you know what? With every car, there's 4 of those. How many rims here? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And 4 more on another car that doesn't live here. I think I'm going to be cleaning rims for an awfully long time.